Boom, boom, boom. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to round 3 of the Carrera Cup Classic from RRLeagues from Oschersleben in Europe. Today we've got 2 races for you, both 25 minutes long. You'll just see practicing just about come to an end for the first qualifying session. Qualifying will take place for race 1, and then race 2 will see the first 12 finishers on the grid in race 1 reversed for race 2, so those finishing 12th will start first, and so on back down the grid. If you finish 13th, that's unlucky, because that's where you'll start the second race. You can see so far in practice, Manojlovic, currently the championship leader, put in the fastest time. Michael Kasperink in second there, missed race or round 1 rather, so he sees himself down the standings, but put a remarkable performance up in not series 2, in round 2. Round 2 saw him win the first race, start from 12th on the grid, come all the way up to second place. One more lap might well have caught the winner, who was Jim Britton. Fantastic performance from Jim, by the way. But unfortunately the stewards deemed that one of his passes in round 2, in race 2 rather, was questionable, deemed him to give a 5-second penalty, and that 5 seconds took him down from 2nd all the way down to 7th. Taken with a smile, as most things are at RRLeagues, and especially in this Porsche Cup as they come out for qualifying. But yeah, it just shows you how close the race is. A 5-second penalty pushed him 6 places down the grid, or 5 if my maths is right. 5 down to 7th. But watch out for him in today's race. He's obviously got a lot of pace, and could well be putting up a bit of a challenge today. We'll just jump on board with him here as they go out for their warm-up lap. Oschersleben, a lovely track, but very technical, and especially in these cars. You'll see a lot of drifting in this. There you go. As Mikael shows you exactly what he means. He tries to warm those rear tyres up. Lots of little kinks and twists, which puts these chassis under tremendous amount of pressure. As you can see, some of them in the background are dodging off wide. Manojlovic is further back down the field, just leaving a bit of a gap to himself there for the first lap. Kasperink comes around to start his lap. Takes a nice wide line into turn 1, or into the last turn rather, to give him a drive across the line. So we'll stay with Mikael and just see exactly how we get on. Turn 1 is a sweep left and then a fast turn right, and that right goes round and round and round. Onto the straight he goes, up to a hairpin, wide hairpin, And then for a really quick left-handed section where he comes 3 in a row, you'll see him dodge onto the right of the thing, and he'll come right round, and watch the drift as he comes round here. Oh, he's got it actually pretty tight there. Now back round he comes, there's the drift. Gets that tail singing lovely. Through a little chicane sweep here. Doesn't really affect the cars too much if you get it right. Sharp right-hander. And onto a nice long straight now. We'll go on board with Mikel. Under the bridge, brakes to the right. Hits that sausage to the left. And as you come to the end of the lap, there's 2 right-handers. The first one's a 90 degree and the second one's about 110 degree. So it's a lot tighter. Looks like this could be a good lap here from Kaspering. Oh, just had to ease off there. He's going to go wide. Just had to ease off in the final corner. Comes across the line. Benazzi already through for his lap. Kaspering there you can see through for 1:36.8. So that's a pace at the moment. We'll see where we are. Relico's through half a second behind. Metcalf again half a second. Nodovic, you saw him leading, and the championship leader 2/10 behind there. I'll just go on board with Nemanja and just see if he can put together a second lap. These cars do take a while to get their temperatures up, so you might find the fastest lap comes about 3 or 4 laps into this qualifying session. It's not like an out lap, a fast lap and an in lap. These guys will be out for all of this 16 minutes left. You may well find they're fueled for a lot of that as well. So there's this left-hander, left, left, left again. And the man is just come up on traffic here. And he's lost it there. You can just see goes and runs wide, or runs on the inside rather, and backs off there. What he doesn't want to do is return to the garage here, like you might think, because then you've got to warm your tyres up all over again. Best to stay on track and just keep running, as Nemanja does. Let's go to Nemanja's teammate in Intense Racing, currently leading the championship. David Dorr, leading the team championship. David had a consistent performance so far in the series. P6 race 1 in the first round, followed by P9 in the second race there, and then in round 2 a P5 and a P6. So consistent performance from David, but always finding 1 or 2 a little bit quicker. Currently sitting in second place though here, 3/10 off Kaspering. Clive Britton there in third. Nodovic down to fourth now. We've had a nice lap just put in by Nigel Wood there, second off Kaspering, but decent lap there for Nigel. Looks quick here today. Nigel's gradually been getting better. First race 11th and 12th. Had a bit of a mare in the first race. Finished in 11th, but sorry, in the second race rather, after starting from second on the grid. In race, sorry, oh God, there's too many races and too many rounds, too many R's. Get the R down. And then Nigel 10th and 8th in round 2, races 1 and 2. So he has got pace, just run into a few little issues here and there. Spin here and a little twitch there. You see him down the grid, but he's got plenty of pace. As David Dorr comes round to finish his lap. 2/10 down at the moment. Just see where he comes with this one. Doesn't improve. Stays third. 1:36.7. You see there Pavlicek. Currently up in second place. as Nemanja puts in a quick lap there, just 500ths off Kasperink. As Pavlicek comes down the straight. Is he the door or... Sorry, I read it all Fillingdon, I think, in front of him. Team 77 car. Pavlicek comes through. He's a tenth and a half down at the moment. Just see where this puts him. Just runs a little bit wide on that final turn there. He lost a tenth or so there. Don't think this will improve. Oh, it does. Look at that. Still not good enough to take him up above, but decent end to the lap there. Must have carried a lot of speed through that final turn, even though he went wide. In fact, his lap was invalidated. He was that wide. So it carried speed through, but unfortunately, lap invalid. So although we saw it come up quicker there on the timing screens, he went purple in that final sector. Unfortunately, too wide on that last turn. And his lap has been deleted. What else haven't we looked at today? We were talking about the Team 77 cars, currently sitting second in the championship. Simon Fillingdon, one of those drivers, currently down in 10th position. Teammate David Dorr up in 3rd. Sorry, teammate David Dorr. Teammate Ralph Arella up in 7th as Simon gets the commentator's curse. And we see him pointing the wrong way down the straight. Just waiting for a gap to spin that one round. Here we go. So that's the end of that lap for Simon. His teammate Ralph Arella just coming through turn 1 here. Let's stick with Ralph for a bit and see if we can get a lap together here. These cars are very twitchy to drive. It's just why I'm commentating and not on track. I can think of better ways to spend my Wednesday evenings. So down Ralph comes to the 3 left-handers. You can see just how much I have to be careful with that throttle. Too much throttle and they'll end up pointing the wrong way, as Simon showed a few seconds earlier. So Arella through there, this little kink now, this little chicane kink, hit that sausage over there, got plenty of room on the inside of that curb to come through. Through what looks like an innocent right hander, but it's so easy to drift wide there. Up under the bridge, brake before the bridge, the right hander. Up onto that sausage, and again, not to hit it too hard or it'll end up in that sand. 90-degree right in the last turn. Just rides that curve nice there. Brakes. Horrible last turn. Just waiting to get on the gas. Finally finds it. Comes across the line for 7th place lap. Fastest date, 1:36.9. Decent lap for Ralph. Didn't improve position. Stays 7th. Let's have a look at who else we've got. Jack Camiletto, winner of race 2 in round 1, starting from the pole position after finishing 12th in the first race. Tried to do the same in round 2. Finished down the field in the first race. Pole for the second, and almost carried it through to the end until a little bit of barging we spoke about with Kasperink as he came through. That was the incident with Camiletto that the judges felt was a little bit unfair. Camiletto suffered from that, lost some positions, and finished down in, I believe it was 3rd in the end after the yeah, he did finish P3 after Kasperink was demoted. So I don't think Camiletto had much chance to win that race because Jim Britton was on a flyer that day. But certainly put up a good showing, and certainly looked like he might run away with it and do what he did in round 1. But just caught by Britain. And Raffaella, who came over in second. Gotta love these 90s liveries, haven't you? You wouldn't dare do that on a car today, but it looks so good. And just see, I think that was Finningham there coming back on with a rather buckled front end. Yes, so I'm guessing Simon will be taking that one back into the pits, as it looks a little bit snub-nosed. Nope, comes round to start another lap. Obviously feels that the car's good enough to go. Just got to be careful there not to delete his next lap. And just see as you come into turn one exactly what they're looking at. You've really got to make sure that when you dab those brakes, you do it in a straight line. Otherwise that could be the last thing you do. Just runs wide there. That I think is going to lose him the lap time. Carries on though. Got to make sure not to go across that white line. As he's got a spinner in front of him, and that's just put him off there on a lap. I think this will definitely be deleted, so nothing going there for Finningham. Tom Cahonan, another very, very quick driver in this series, currently in fourth position, just coming over the line now. Not a quick lap from Tom. His fastest so far, 136.5, that was a 136.8. 3/10 off the lead, 3.5 tenths off the lead so far. 5 minutes to go. So we get a few more laps in here, Tom. Cahonan suddenly sits second in the championship after 2 second places, a P7 and a P11. So Tom's got plenty of speed. He'll be looking to improve on that this race and give Manojlovic a bit more to think about. Close at the top of the championship, 296 for Manojlovic, Cahonan on 293, Arella on 289, so just 7 points after 4 races covering the top 3. In fact, just 9 points covering, 9 points covering the top 4, with Britton on 287, actually Clive Britton, and Jim Britton back on 284, so 12 points covering the top 5. It just shows you how close this championship is. I wonder if Michael Kasperi will regret missing that first round, because that could cost him. He puts in a very quick lap. First one into the 135 is 135.989. I say the first one, possibly the only one today. Bad third sector there for Cahonan, stays in fourth. 136, his fastest lap so far, 136.4, but that last sector just killed him. One more tenth would have seen him in second. But decent lap for Cahonan. He's got a chance to do a couple more. Let's go on board with Carlos Guerra. You may remember him from the last race being the ultimate stopper. Everyone who sat behind him for a long time and can probably draw their car in sleep. Draw his car in their sleep, rather. Very difficult to get past in the last race. As Rick Binnersley found out, I think, as who else was behind him at some point. I think Metcalf was, just a spinner there. A bit like Albertini. Currently 24 in the server. The only person not to set a time so far, Ethan Kearley. And Carlos ends that lap. Sector 3 was quick because he dodged into the pits. 1:37.1 there for Carlos, puts him up into 9th position. Fastest lap so far, coming on lap 10, that last lap. In fact, all of the drivers so far all put in their best laps at the end of this session. So see Minolovic on his, realistically his last attempt, well, last but one attempt, to try and wrestle the pole position away for Kasperink. Oh, and a big slide. That was his last attempt. He's got to spin that one round and make sure he gets right, and he's returned to the pit. So that's the end of it for Minolovic. He won't get round in time, I don't think, for another lap. He's going to try, but I don't think he's going to make it out of the pits. The lap here is a 1:35, 1:30, yeah, and he's gone back to the pit. So that's Minolovic over. Kahonen's still out here. Quick in the first sector, just 100th down. And he's eased off there. That's surprising. I wonder if that lap was deleted as he went too wide there, maybe. But that's Kahonen's challenge over. In fact, everyone is off the track now with the exception of the bottom guys. So Fillingham's still out here. The top 11 are all done. That'll be your starting grid. Fillingham's still pushing that car around with the busted nose. Can run wide on that turn because you know you just sweep back for this, get a bit of power down for this straight through this little kink, and then brake for this horrible right-hander. Simon rides the curb there. He might be okay just on the red and white curbs. I think he's fine. He comes down to the end of sector 2. Yeah, just got a bit of time there. Looking at 8 tenths in that, 5 tenths in the. We'll just stay on board with Simon as the qualifying results come over. As we said, as we were rather. Kasperink in pole position here. That lovely lap. Simon just comes around the last turn and literally comes around the last turn at 360 into the gravel. That's the end of him. So Kasperink to pole, Minolovic, Dorr, and Kahonen on the first and second rows. Row 3, Pavlicek and Camaletto. Arella and Metcalf fill out row 4 with Clive Britton and Carlos Guerra in row 5. Nigel would want to get past Carlos on the run down to turn 1. He's next to Simon Fillingham around God, my words are going. Row 6, that's what I meant. Row 6 on the grid. So, a minute to the start of the race. Fixed setup on these cars, no setup changes, so all they've got to do is fuel. Make sure they've got enough for 25 minutes. You can see the grid populating there. False starts we do have enabled, so they've got to be careful on the clutch here. Most of them drive with paddle shifts, but I know Jack Camaletto does prefer, well I say prefer, for the authenticity, we'll be using the H shifter. Proper dog box for Jack. Just missing 6th on the grid there. Do I need to click drive very quickly? There we go. There's Jack Camaletto just getting in there. So here we go. Red lights. And they're out. Good start there from Kasperink. As they're going down to turn 1. Minolovic could start in 2. You see Camaletto up inside of there, and we'll just make sure there's nothing happening in turn 1. Camaletto looking around the outside, taking the safe route. Have a check on the inside there, the Diodora car. But they're all there through. Nice driving, guys. 2 by 2 they come down. They now start going to single file as they come down to this left-hander. Nice wide left-hander. Just go on board with Pavlicek. Camaletto in front of him. Kasperink already nearly a second ahead of Minolovic. Kahonen, Dorr, Camaletto, Pavlicek we're on board with. Pavlicek's got Arella, Metcalf, Clive, Britton and Nigel Wood behind him. Shift there from Pavlicek as he came through, just to keep that gear. See that Caminetto taking real liberties with that chicane. Just start to pull away from Radek as they go through. Kasparing, Mlodovich, Kohonen, Dorr, Caminetto, Pavlicek, Morella, Metcalf, Britton and Nigel Wood rounds out your top 10. Mlodovich just clawing Miguel back in again. As they come round onto lap 2. Kasparing leads over the line. Mlodovich about a second behind. Just closing that gap down. You can see now just getting that tails twitchy through there. So they come down through turn 2. Mlodovich is dragging Kohonen behind him. Just keeping Kasparing honest here. Mlodovich now. Just takes a little bite there, the accelerator, as he drops down a gear. You can see there, Kasparing drags very wide. Very wide. Keeps it together though. But that's allowed Mlodovich a good run at him here through the chicane. So that early advantage there that Kasparing had is gone. Mlodovich now right behind him as they come down under the ridge. Left-hander, right-hander. Field's starting to spread out a bit now. As you were, Kasparing, Mlodovich, Kohonen, Caminetto, Pavlicek, Morella, Metcalf, Britton and Wood, all within a second of each other. Big battle down the field here. Colin Barker and Ben Edwards. Oh, sorry, Ben Edwards, Ben Reynolds even. See there, Barker. Same livery as Tom Kohonen. TSR Genital team. Just see behind that Kirpenstein and Lecken also getting very close. Lecken just running very wide on the outside of that turn there. You can see Fillingham is already sat in the pits. I wonder if that was a non-start from Simon. I hope that's not a disconnect. That will really not be good. So you can see Keeley there on the inside of Binnesley. Or is that Villy? Back to the front. Kasparing, Mlodovich, Kohonen. David Dorr just creeping a bit closer to Kohonen. Caminetto, Pavlicek. There's a little bit of a gap then developing to Morella, who's got Metcalf and Clive Britton just behind him. We'll go on board with Clive Britton. Two they go. Big long right hander up under the gantry. Big long left hander now. It's so easy to get this one wrong as you accelerate out of here. You can see Metcalf there just braking to get that tail to twitch out. And a better turning. In front of him, Morella goes very wide in that turn. opportunities with that chicane, jumping the curbs, just to give himself a little bit of an advantage there. Britain's keeping him honest though, just a quarter of a second behind. Go through this one. Clark taking that with a lot of respect there to give him a good run through that one. Right hand you can see there. Greg getting very twitchy. This is going to be Clive's chance. Goes down the inside. And now they're going to go racing down towards turn 1. Side by side. Metcalf just keeping ahead of Clive Britton. It's still Kasperin, Komanovic, Koponen, Door. Tracked a bit of a gap out into Camaletto. Well, I say a bit of a gap, it's a second. Camaletto's got Pavlicek crawling all over the back of him, and then there's this battle here between Arella and Metcalf. I say this battle, Arella's there, he's got about a second on Metcalf and Britton. And then Nigel Wood just behind him in the black car. This is currently the closest battle on field at the moment. You can see just ahead of them, Camaletto and Pavlicek have a good look at each other. Just jump on board with Radek. Camaletto taking care not to touch that sausage, just rolling off it. Bite these cars, those curves. These cars are not built. Whereas Radek has a look. Is he gonna touch? No. Jack just leave the door open there. Radek being a little bit speculative. Just letting Jack know. Especially his offside rear wing note, he was there. They come down through turn 1. Again you can see Jack jumping right over those curves. Got to be careful if you do gain time, the game will give you a drive through. And that's the last thing you want when the field is as tightly packed as this is. Greg Metcalf still got Clive Britton crawling right the back of him. Looks like back a couple of minutes ago. Just stay on board with this one, mate, because it looks like Radek is a bit feisty today. Jack jumps his chicane. Yeah, in fact now Radek's thought, well, if you're doing it, so am I. And onto the straight they go. Jack a bit squirrely onto the straight, but he's got the power. No advantage for Pavlicek to come under the bridge. Radek just runs a little bit through there, a little bit wide. Good drive out of that corner though. The final turn, Jack on the brakes. Radek thinks he's got a little bit more pace for that final turn there. That's where the pass will happen if it comes. So Camaletto, Pavlicek over the line, battle for 6th. Further back we saw Britton with Metcalf. Nigel Wood's now joined that battle. This is the battle for 8th. In fact, Clive Britton's got past Greg Metcalf. Remember, Greg was in front of Clive. Clive's got past him. That's why Nigel's managed to catch on to the back of them. You can see in 11th, they're just behind him, Carlos Guerra. The only person to get past him so far is Nigel Wood. He's got a bit of pace today. He's 3 seconds ahead of Cassell in 12th, so that could be your first and second on the grid, but Cassell. In fact, Martin Kennins has just gone past Cassell. So Martin Kennins up into 12th and provisional pole for the next race if he can keep it there. Striving from Kennings. New staff member at RRLeagues. So driving for the admins. It's a little bit wide, that's not going to hurt too much as long as he gets his turn through this final turn and gets onto a straight in one piece, which he does. And leads over the line. So in 12th place, Martin Kennens stays ahead of Cassell. Up front though, Milanovic has got Cahonen now bearing down on him. You can just see how those cars swing through these turns. It's not really a slip angle, it's really a slide angle, as you can see. Cahonen there with the front wheels going a different way to the rear wheels as he steers into the slide. That's the only way to get pace out of these cars, is to really let that tail wander. So there you go, you can see Kasperink in the lead, second or so ahead of this battle between Milanovic and Cahonen. David Dorr on his own really back in fourth, and then the battle between Camaletto, Pavlicek and Arella. This is that battle, Camaletto in fifth, Pavlicek in the Diodoro car in sixth, Arella in the Thiel car in seventh. As we come through the final turn. Straight they go. Pavlicek just having a weave. Nothing coming from Jack there. He'll take that first turn quite tight and then bash into that curve as he comes around. Nice driving there from Camaletto. Pavlicek's got to be careful here while he's looking for a way past Camaletto and looking for those gaps. He might just leave the door open for Arella. Ralph is one to pounce on any opportunity he's given, so he's got to be very careful here. Takes the chicane with a little bit of speed there. That's just stretched it out there from Pavlicek and Arella. He's given himself a bit of a gap. You can see behind them, the battle between Britton, Metcalf and Wood rages. And Carlos Guerra now trying to get onto the back of that pack as well. So Britton through, wrestling the car through there. Metcalf just waiting for him to make a mistake. Nigel Wood waiting for the two of them to get together and give him a present. But nothing's happening there, they come down the straight. Kasperink leads by a second and a half from Milanovic, Cahonen, Dorr, Camaletto, Pavlicek, Arella, and then Britton, Metcalf and Wood here you see in 8th, 9th and 10th. Cassell's got past Kennens again. After Kennens has made a mistake, so that's giving Cassell that all-important 12th position. Martin Kennens will be kicking himself for that. Looks like Cahonen. Oh, looks like, is that Milanovic? It is. He's going to have to wait a while there for Arella to go through before he gets going again. So bad luck for Milanovic there, down to 7th. Championship leader. Manages to stay ahead of Clive Britton, but he will be kicking himself. Good points thrown away there from Milanovic. Although it will give him a chance in race 2. We'll give him 5 or 6 places on Kasperink in race 2. So he's just got to look at the positives here and not dwell on that error. So Kasperink's away, 3 seconds ahead of Cahonen now, who's a second and a half ahead of Dorr, who's a second and a half ahead of Camaletto. Camineto's still got Pavlicek behind him. Just pulled away from Morella. Down to turn 1 they go. Not quite as tight to turn 1 there from Jack. Still gets good drive through 2 though. As does Radek behind him. Couple of wheels on the grass on the edges, but he should be fine. Oh, well wide there from Pavlicek. Caminetto keeping it nice and tidy. Oh, just hits the curb. It's that inside curb there. That just takes a little bit of speed off the car. He's still got now about half a second on Pavlicek, just stretching it out now. You can see as well Clive Britton starting to pull away from Metcalf and Wood. In fact, Carrera's now closer to Wood than Metcalf is to Britton, so that's pretty much sorted now. Further back in the field, Rick Binnersley and Albertini are going at it. Albertini and a Diodora car. You can just see there, nice pass there from Rick Binnersley. Gets himself up into 14th. That's not going to help him for race 2, but it will be satisfying to get past somebody on this track. So Binnersley up to 14th now. Further back down the field, Kerpenstein and Moll. Andre not enjoying these cars at all. This is for 20th. Andre will hate me saying that. Currently the closest battle on track is this one. The lead is still Kasperinck. 3.5 seconds now ahead of Kohonen, Dorr, Caminetto. Pavlicek still on the back of Caminetto. Did Kohonen made a mistake, has he? Dorr's right in the back of him now. His last lap was on pace, so unless it's happened this lap, we'll keep an eye on the lap times as he goes through. Lap stood out the last time round, Minodovic 1:36.2. One of the quickest laps of the race, down in 7th position after that mistake earlier. As Kohonen comes through the final turn. Kasperinck already starting to catch up to back markers to lap them. 5 minutes to go. Kohonen comes through there, 1:37 for Kohonen, 1:36.5 for Dorr. So half a second there for David Dorr. Caminetto, Pavlicek, Morella. Caminetto preferring that wider entry into turn 2 to give him the straighter exit out of it. Pavlicek can't find any room yet to get past Jack here, although he is on his bumper. Gives him a little nudge. That will piss Jack off a little bit. Braddock getting tight here on the inside. Nothing giving though. Jack's going to power out of here. Down through the chicane. Brake for the right hander. Keep it on the curb. He does. He'll get good drive off there. You can see the door getting closer and closer to Kohonen. 4 minutes to go. Oh, Caminetto squirrely there on the exit. Pavlicek just looking down the inside. That's compromised his turn there. You wonder if he just should have held that for the final turn, but he saw a gap. Jack just recovered enough in time, so Camiletto, Pavlicek, Arrella behind these two. They're going into turn 1. Jack's found a better line now over that curve on turn 1. Managing to run a little bit wide there as he picks up a late apex. And off he goes. Pavlicek under the gantry, brakes. You can see there how Camiletto has to brake a little bit earlier using that shifter rather than paddles. As he goes through, run a little bit wide there onto that runoff area just to give him a little bit more turning. You can see there Pavlicek much later on the brakes than Camiletto. Camiletto getting good drive over the chicane. That was a little bit untidy there from Jack. Gets it straightened out. There's a back marker in front of Camiletto there. So I want to get past them as soon as. Oh, Killy not making it easy there for Camiletto. I think it's Keeley. It is. So that's just cost Jack Camiletto 4th place as Pavlicek comes down to turn 1. Ethan and Jack, both staff members at RRLeagues. They'll be having a meeting over a cup of coffee later, I've no doubt about that. Just hear the words lovely Scottish tone in Jack's car right now. That's another demonetised stream for him. So now Pavlicek's finally got past Jack with a minute and a half to go. They'll have this lap and one more. Camiletto just getting a bit raggedy, I think, here, just with frustration. And that's just allowed Ralph to close up on him as well. It's only one place, but Jack will feel like he's lost about 10 after that, after defending for so long against Pavlicek. And now is he going to lose the same place to Arrella? Very cautious through that turn, Arrella, as he gets better drive out of this turn. Up to the penultimate corner. Dabbling brakes from Camiletto, a bit more from Arrella. Through the final turn they go. Britain's disconnected or out of the race as well. That happened a while ago, I didn't spot that. I was wondering what name was missing because something wasn't quite right. It's Jim Britton. These cars are quite difficult to drive. If they hit a barrier as well, it's quite easy to toast the engine, so that might be what's happening to Jim. I hope he's there for race 2. As with Simon. So it's going to the final lap now. Kasperink leads by 5 seconds from Kohonen. David Dahl right behind Kohonen, but no way through. You can see him just behind there. But pretty uneventful for Kasperink. Pole to line. It's going to come around the final turn here. Excellent performance from Mikael Kasperink, or Kasperink. We need to work out how to say that, don't we? He comes over the line for the win. Kohonen and Dahl. They're going to come over second and third. Pavlicek is going to come over ahead of Camiletto after that nightmare final turn a couple of laps ago. Camiletto in 5th, Arrella in 6th, Manojlovic in 7th. Britain comes over in 8th from Metcalf. Nigel Wood finishes in 10th. Guerra 11th. And Gerasimos Cassel comes home in 12th, which will give him pole position for race 2. So 110 points for Kasperink in that race, 10 points for pole, 100 points for the win. That takes him right up the championship now as we come into race 2. Let's get this little cool down lap here. Jack's just amending his Christmas card list. We'll take Ethan Kearley off it. Nice race, guys. Nice and clean and good to watch. These cars, I cannot tell you how much of a handful they are to drive. I dropped in one last night just to see if I wanted to take part in this today rather than commentate, and after 5 minutes, I mean, let's be honest, I'm not the greatest driver in the world, but trust me, these drivers, to get them round with what looks like a little effort is a lot of effort. These cars are horrible to drive, which is surprising for Porsche. I don't know if the game's got it quite right. I don't think a 911 was ever this bad to drive, but there you go. So there you go. Winner, Mikhail Kasperink. Tom Cohonen second after that mistake from Manojlovic, finished him down in 7th. David Daw took the 3rd place on the podium, and Pavlicek, Camaletto and Arella. So another minute before race 2 begins. As I said, Gerasimos Cassel will start in pole after finishing 12th in race 1. Which means Mikhail Kasperink is going to find himself all the way back down in 12th, and that'll be the battle to watch as he comes through. He just drops onto the grid there in that red car. Cohonen next to him in the green car. Door just ahead of them. Grid fills out. Gets Camaletto again, we're waiting for. 10 seconds. Come on, Jack. Make me nervous. There we go. Lights are on. Here's Cassel. I'm going to drop it. Lights out. There we go. Cassel away. Where follows in a second. Good start there from Greg Metcalf. He's going to get tight into turn 1. Metcalf looks down the inside. I can see 2 by 2 as they come through the second corner. Not too much in the background going on. All clever. As they come down there 3 wide. Cassel leads them from Wood, Guerra, Manojlovic. Metcalf now up into 5th behind the Mania. Those two are going to be ploughing through now, trying to get past Guerra, that stopper as always. Britain, Camaletto, Arella, Pavlicek, Kasperink up to 10th. He's made up a couple of places already. We've got a spinner there. Looks like Nigel Wood. Just see Kasperink really getting his arms out as he goes past Pavlicek. I saw Pavlicek wasn't disagreeable with a bit of rubbing in the first race, so we'll see how that goes. Kasperink behind Arella, just in front of them Camaletto. So very quick bunch of drivers in that middle pack there. But Cassel's away, he's a second ahead of Guerra. Manojlovic behind Guerra, desperately looking for a way through. You can see Kasperink really starting to rub there. Arella not having any of it. flash in there from Mikel. That's not going to go down well. Pavlicek runs out to have a look. Pops back in again. So Camiletto and Arella run side by side. Kaspering just late on the brakes there. Almost rear-ended one of them. He's going to see this as his opportunity to get past Arella as Arella runs wide. Side by side. Kaspering makes it through. Camiletto in front of him now. Seems to have better brakes on that car than the rest of them, I think. Just watch from Arella's car. That's Kaspering just in front. Train behind Guerra as we had in the last race. Not the last race, the last round rather. Carlos Guerra very good at keeping people behind him. Although Manojlovic is having a look on the inside here. No doing. Carlos keeps it tight, as he always does. He's not the quickest, but he is the most, probably the most, I don't know, clinical driver we've got on track at the moment. Although Manojlovic is having a look down the inside as he gets drive out of that corner. Cassell's got the inside line now into turn one. So it goes side by side. This is going to test Manojlovic's drive. Oh, there you go. As Clive Britton comes barging through as well. And it looks like Simon Fillingham and Jim Britton didn't start, so those two must have disconnected. 22 starters in this race. It's a shame. So down they go. You can see Cassell away. Manojlovic desperately trying to catch him. 2 seconds now. Britton, Guerra, Metcalf, Camiletto, Kaspering will go on board with Mikel. What's that Arella behind him, just giving a little bit of a nudge. Taste his own medicine back again. And Pavlicek just behind them, so probably should be looking at a little bit of touch-ins after this, I think. As they come down there, you can see Cassell out in the lead from Manojlovic, Britton, Guerra, Metcalf, Camiletto in the Toshiba car, followed by Kaspering and Arella. Pavlicek and Tom Cahonen there down in 10th. They'll want to be making up places from there. This battle from third, well, second really, all the way down to 10th. You know, pick one. Even money the lot. Kaspering's got a good drive on Camiletto here. Is he going to dob out? Let's jump on board with him and see. Camiletto tight into one. Looks around the outside of Guerra. That's opened the door for Kaspering, Camiletto. These two came together in the last race, as we know. As they come up to the left-hander. Jack's got the inside here, so should be okay. And he is. Carlos Guerra again proving to be a hard nut to crack. Metcalf's through. Camiletto just got a nudge there again from Kaspering. Pretty sure that's put Jack's car off there. Arella now looking through on Camiletto as well. Camiletto keeps it safe. Oh, big accident in the background there. Big accident. That's Cahonen, Binnersley, I think it was as well. So Tom Cahonen finishes that and in 15th place there. But up front, Cassell's now been caught by Manojlovic. Britton, Metcalf, Guerra, Kaspering, Arella, Camiletto, Pavlicek, all within half a second of each other. Well, apart from that Kaspering and Guerra battle. which Kasperic makes short work there of Guerra. So here's Milojevic for the lead on Cassel. Cassel the inside into here. Milojevic can keep it on the outside, he can't. Bit of rubbing there with Clive. Gerasimov stays ahead. Cassel, Milojevic, Britain. As they go through this right-hander, Milojevic taking a little bit of a liberty with that runoff area there. Bit cheeky, but it's not affected Cassel too much. Let's go on board with Clive Britton in third. Just had to ease off the gas there as he came through. Just had a run on Milojevic there until he had to ease off it. Under the bridge, Cassel, Milojevic. This is Britain in third. So Cassel keeps the lead. Milojevic again tight on his tail. Britain. Got Greg Metcalf on the inside there. Is Greg going to make it through? Clive runs a little bit wide. And they're going to bump as they come down. Oh, look at that. Greg cuts right across Clive's nose there to take the place. Crew chief obviously telling him it was clear, and as soon as it was clear, he was over. So Metcalf up into third. Clive Britton has now got Mikel Kasperic right behind him. Metcalf will be glad to get him off his tail for a minute or so. Oh, Milojevic runs very wide there as Cassel almost follows him. Metcalf, Britton, Kasperic putting alongside Clive here. Is Clive going to keep the inside for the next one? He is, but not enough speed there. Kasperic up to fourth now. Milojevic, Cassel, Metcalf, Kasperic, Clive Britton. Look at the control that Kasperic's got on that Porsche as he goes through there. Lovely drift through there. I think he's going to lose it, but keeps it all together. Gives him great pace. So now looking at Metcalf. Just back from Greg's car, as you can see. I mean, there's nothing to say, it's glorious just to watch, isn't it? It's down they come. Oh, big accident at the back there. Who was that? That Camaletto. It is. Not sure what happened there, but Jack out into the gravel, out into the tyres. And that's his race almost done and dusted, down into 17th, 18th position. Not great. Anyway, back up front. Milojevic, Cassel, Metcalf, Kasperic and Britton. Let's go back on board with Clive. You can see them all three wide ahead. Well, not three wide, they will be in a minute. Kasperic looking very tight into turn one there. Clive looks for that inside, and what a great move this is if he can make this stick. Clive using Cassell as a stopper there for Kasperi. Can't get past him. Clive trying around the outside. Cassell budging him. And Cassell nudges him through. There's a lot of Irish swear words going on there, I'm sure. Cassell runs wide. That allows Kasperi up to second. Britain want to carry that fight on, let me tell you. Minodovic away, Metcalf trying to keep with him, but Kasperi has got eyes on that battle. Cassell and then Britain desperately trying to get past that red Toshiba car. And the four behind them, Guerra, Arella, Pavlicek and Dorr. But has Minodovic got enough pace to keep this one? 12 minutes to go, halfway through the race. A bit of bodywork repaired after this race. It's difficult to say what's fair and what's not because you don't see it from the car, but it's been tough. Let's put it that way. So Clive looks to get a better run out of that turn, except turn 2. Trying desperately to get past Cassell to take the battle up again with Kasperi. Kasperi are now on the back of Greg Metcalf. We know how late he is to break into this final one of these last 3 corners here. So Metcalf through, and then this is where Kasperi will try and get that drift on to give him drive through. And it looks like he's done it. He has. So a fair move there from Mikhail Kasperi, and he's now going to try and chase down Minodovic from 12th position up to 2nd. Nemanya's the hare. Can Kasperi do anything about him? He's left a bit of a wake behind him, not going to lie, but we'll let the stewards sort those ones out. But he's now going to be chasing down Minodovic. We'll have a look a bit further down the field while he carries out that pursuit. Carlos Guerra here. Got Arella, Dorr, Pavlicek. Conan's made his way up to 10th. But he's still 7 seconds behind Pavlicek in that green, white and red Diodora car. Arella looking for a way through. Guerra keep it nice and tight into the curb. So he's very clinical, he's Carlos Guerra. That's why he's so difficult to pass. On board Varela. You can just see that Guerra closes every single inside line to every corner. Ooh, that clobbers that curb though. Runs around that curve as well. If he's got drive there, that's good driving. But Arella just looks to be a bit quicker out of there. Just not enough though. Oh! I think I've given him the commentator's curse. I have. I've caught Carlos Guerra's only mistake live on camera. As Arella looks to go around the outside, but nothing doing. Guerra amazingly keeps the spot. Pavlicek goes through on Dorr, or does he? Guerra, Arella. Dorr, Pavlicek just can't keep with them. The gap Manojlovic and Kasparink out front, just a second now. It's going to be an interesting last 5 minutes, I think. Metcalf's on 2.5 seconds. He's got Clive Britton tight behind him though. And Cassell sticking with them as well. Oh, what's that up there? Who was that? Looks like, oh, it might have been Ethan Keeley, one of the back markers. It is. So Keeley round. This is Guerra again with Arella. Clive Britton close behind Metcalf again. Just jumped to that one as they come down towards turn 1. I'm just going to get a sip of tea. Kindly brought in by my other half. Oh god, yeah. Britton close up to Clive there. Close up to Clive. Close up to Greg. The tea was that good. So Metcalf in 3rd position, keeping ahead of Britton here, but Britton putting him under enormous pressure. The gap between Kasparink and Manojlovic up front though, now down to a second. And you can see Kasparink, the way he drifts that car through. Metcalf's got Britton right behind him now. Cassell right with them as well. So it's the 3-way battle for the last place on the podium. Metcalf, Britton and Cassell. Guerra's back in 6, about 2 seconds behind this battle. You just see him in the background there with Arella and Dorr and Pavlicek going very wide there. We need some new blades on that lawnmower. So just watch Metcalf and Britton as they come through the final turn. Can Britton look down the inside here? Nothing doing. Stay on the track. They do. So they'll all come down to turn 1 as they are. Metcalf, Britton, Cassell. Behind them, Guerra, Dorr and Arella. So through turn 1 these guys goes. Where's Dorr? There's Dorr, Arella. Behind Guerra. Pavlicek just in the rear there. Takes a nice tight line there. That's caught him onto the back of this 3 now, so that makes it a 4-way battle. Obviously the grass is doing that car a lot of good. But up ahead, this is the battle we wanted to see. Manojlovic, Kasparink, the battle for the lead. Kasparink from 12th on the grid. Manojlovic from, oh, is he 11th? No, he finished started. He had that mistake, didn't he, in race 1? So but probably the 2 quickest drivers out there today, Manojlovic, Kasparink. Only right they find themselves battling for the lead. Just 4 minutes to go. So, 1.5 laps. 3 more laps. Just the rear view from Manojlovic's car. Just see how Kasparink gets that car to drift as he drives into the slide initially. It's like rally driving. Like he flicks the back out ever so slightly just to get that drift going. And once he's steered into it and controlled it, takes it round the corners. So Manojlovic, Kasparink, Metcalf about 5 seconds behind this group with the Britton and Cassell battle. David Dorr, Guerra, Arella and Pavlicek. Dorr past. Guerra. As you can see, Carrera and Pavlicek yet to complete that task. That's an achievement award. That'll come up on your passport. Conan's still in 10th, catching these guys, but not quick enough. He'll finish there if he doesn't make any more mistakes. There's nothing happens in front of him. Just in front of the Metcalfe-Britton battle. That's been cracking on for 15 minutes now. Cassell still hanging on to the back of them. Manojlovic keeping Kasperink about a second behind though. As they come round, 2 more laps to go after this one. Metcalfe-Britton, Cassell. As Manojlovic crosses the line. Kasperink just over a second behind now, in fact dropping back. Last lap was a 1:37.1, 1:36.6 for Manmania. If he can carry on doing that, it's his. I don't like to take sides, but I've got my fingers crossed for Manmania here, not to make a mistake. Since I'm commentating on him, you know what happens. In fact, let's go and look at somebody else. Let's look at Greg again. Greg, Britton and Cassell. Clive, the very amiable and likeable Irishman. Well, Greg isn't going to be liking him very much at the moment because that car has been stuck to his back bumper for 20 minutes. And he's just got to keep him there for another 2. Clive will be trying everything he can to try and get past. So it's now a four-way fight there. Dawes caught onto the back of this group after getting past Guerra. So Metcalfe-Britton, Cassell, Daw. Manojlovic is still a second ahead of Kasperin because they come round for the final lap. So these guys are just going to go in their final turn. Manojlovic crosses the line. Just stay with this battle through the final lap. Battle for the lead. Oh, is that too wide for him? Is he trying too hard? You judge. We've seen that car sideways a few times, but that looked like he was just trying too hard. 7 seconds then back to Metcalfe-Britton, Cassell and Daw. Still Kasperink chasing down Manojlovic. Manojlovic running it wide there to give himself good drive. Through here, through the chicane, halfway through the lap now. Oh, Kasperink's just lost it there. That's his chance gone, I think. I think that's it. That little lift there on that corner has just handed the race to Manojlovic. If the man can just keep it together through here. Kasperink throwing it in, trying everything he's got. 2 turns. Manojlovic, Kasperink. Manojlovic through 1. Final corner. Kasperink trying up the inside. Oh, that wasn't really on. But it looks like Manmania's going to take the win. Gives him a wiggle. Look at my arse. Manojlovic takes a win. Great win from Manmania race 2 here at Oschersleben. Kasperink comes over the line for 2nd. Metcalfe fighting with Britton to the end. Takes 3rd. Britton 4th. Cassell 5th. Daw 6th. Guerra, as always, stubborn, comes over 7th. Arella 8th. Pavlicek 9th. Cahonan after that accident earlier in the race. Big accident in 10th. Colin Barker comes home in 11th. Reynolds 12th. Binnersley down in 13th from Cameretta after we saw him pile off at that right-hander straight into the tyres. Albertini finishes 15th from Lecken in 16th. Nigel Wood down in 17th after his error earlier. At the start of the race, you saw him go off at turn 1. Andre Moll up down in 18th. Andre will I'm not sure if you're happy, unhappy, or just glad to get out of that car. Nedo Vili in 19th, Kennan's 20th, Kerpenstein 21st, and Demon of the first race, Ethan Keeley, brings up the back markers in 22nd and last. Wow, great racing there for the guys. Kasperin taking a win and second place. Milanovic really fighting him off well in that final 5 minutes to keep the win. His second win, that should keep him top of the championship. Cahonan having a terrible race there in race 2, coming down in 10th place. Good performances from RRLeagues again, but just again consistent. He really needs to get those podiums in there. And Clive Britton, another 4th position to go with his 4th place in both second races he's had so far. So at Imola, at Galerassen, and here at Oschersleben in race 2, as he appears to be doing somersaults. In fact, they all do. I think that's the end of the end of everything. Colin Barker's found a gravel pet to stop him. That's not quicksand, obviously. There's your final results then of race 2 here of round 3 at Oschersleben. Milanovic takes the win after fighting off Kasperin there at the end. Metcalf and Britton 3rd and 4th. Cassell, Dorr, Guerra, Arella, and Pavlicek. Those guys fighting till the end in a very close battle. Cahonan, as we said, after that accident in 10th. From Barker, Reynolds, Binnersley, Camaletto, Albertini, Wood, Lecken, Moll, Vili, Kennans, Kerpenstein and Keeley. So, next race comes next Wednesday at Silverstone. Same format, 2 25-minute races. So hopefully we will see you for that one. Don't forget, if you've been watching, like and subscribe for us please, always appreciated. Hope you enjoyed this little impromptu commentary. Don't forget, other races coming up. We've got DTM this Sunday. That's always great to watch, part of the DTM series. Race 2, 3, 2. Don't know, 2 I think. I think it's race 2. It is race 2. I know it's race 2. I commentated on 1, so I know it's race 2. That's coming up next on Sunday. Next Wednesday, as I said, is the Porsche Cup from Silverstone. And then the following Sunday, you'll find us in our GT3 cars using Assetto Corsa Competizione. And that will be coming from, off the top of my head, I should know because I've been dreading it, Imola. So, join us at RRLeagues. Pop along to rrleagues.com if you haven't already. Join the Discord, get in the chat, get involved, and get racing with us over here. Anyway, enough for now, enough from me. Enjoy the rest of the week. See you on Sunday for DTM. Take care, guys. See ya.